down the words of the story, leaving blue stains on my body, waiting for more than just sorry again. Where are you now?
Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. For today's video we have something very exciting planned because I am finally going to complete my room and we are going to do a little room transformation and bring this room to its best possible version so that I can finally feel 100% at home in here and it doesn't feel like I'm not really settled in yet. So we're just going to tackle a couple of areas in this room where there's more potential to what there currently is and make something beautiful out of a blank wall. But I would say let's stop chatting and get into the room transformation. So the first thing that I definitely wanted to do in here was get some fairy lights and also some fake ivy. I had that in my room before and I absolutely loved the look of that, so I really wanted to do that around the top part of my room. So it's more cozy and I just love the look of fairy lights in comparison to usual lighting.
Been in the same place for ages. The ink in my pen fills the pages and I try to slow down my pace to spare ages again. Where are you now? Where are you now again? An arrow right through my heart, shattered a piece of art I can say.
So up here above this window, you can see that the fairy lights are kind of hanging lower. That is because there were already some hooks right above the window, but I don't really like how that looks. So I think I'm just going to put some new hooks a little bit higher so that it looks nicer throughout the entire room because it just looks a little bit weird to me. So I think I'm just going to do that real quick and then I'm done. So that was step number one. This was honestly kind of a hassle because I used a simple chair to reach up to my ceiling and that was interesting, but it all worked out. I think it looks so amazing. The next thing I did was do a little collage wall because I also had that in my room before on a different wall than it is now, but I really loved the look of that and it really felt so much more cozy and it also showed all of my different interests and I just really liked it. So I decided to do that again. Hello and welcome to my ugly wall. I mean, you can't really tell from that perspective that it's ugly, but it is, trust me. It's not amazing, but I had the idea to make a little collage wall of this. So I actually printed out a couple of posters that I could use, or not really posters, but just some prints that are really cute. I don't know, a little dachshund with some heart-shaped glasses and something like How to Train Your Dragon related and something with reading and stuff like that because I just feel like it's really cute. And I also have some vinyls that I painted years and years ago and I thought some of these could look cool on the wall. I actually have this incredible painting that some friends of mine made for me as a present for my 18th birthday, which is super cool and that is definitely going to get a spot on this wall. Later on, I also decided to put some of the typical heartstop reliefs onto that collage wall as well because I just felt like there were a lot of blank spaces and I just loved the look of that so much. And I also did them in a like green and pink color scheme so that they would match the vibe of the room. Next up, I just did a few random things. So for example, I had the spot on my wall where the wallpaper ripped off because something was stuck on it, and then I ripped it off and the wallpaper ripped off with it. So I just used some like paste to close that gap, and then I also put some of the fake ivy in front of it so that you wouldn't really see it when you looked at it, because I mean it didn't look 100% perfect with the like paste on top of it. So I decided that was a good way to go, and now you cannot see it at all, I feel like. I also tried to conceal a really big gap that is between my closet and the wall behind with some fake ivy. I also put some little hangers above my desk. So one is for my calendar, where I just have my monthly overview of all of the like appointments and stuff like that that I have. And the second one was for my headphones, because I loved having a place for them in my other room. I did that as well, and I just really liked having them at my desk, because a lot of the time when I like study or something, I just put my headphones on and put on some chill music so that I can concentrate better, and I felt like that was still missing. And next to my desk we now have some beautiful vinyls displayed, because my dad was very kind and helped me with that. He mounted those little like vinyl shelves onto my wall, and I could put some vinyls on it, and I really love displaying them. And I also managed to finally decorate the shelf that is above my TV, because I don't know, it was just sitting empty and with some random stuff on it, and I just didn't like the look of that. And I also put some painted vinyl records that I still had on the wall above that shelf, so that the wall didn't look as blank as before, because I felt like something was still missing. And I actually also painted one of those vinyls, and I just feel like it looks so much better like that and just much more complete, and I really like it. Okay, so the next step in the room transformation is going to be my plants, because I have 3 plants that for some reason have survived so far. I don't really know why, because I feel like I don't really take that good care of them. But hey, they've survived so far, so we're just going to continue keeping these. I have these 3 plants. So this one, and the like pot is way too big because the plant is quite small, so, and I also don't really like the pot anymore. We have this one, and I feel like this one might stay the same. I feel like the pot is fine and it fits the plant, so it's cute. And lastly, we have this plant which sits on my bookshelf, and I honestly don't like the pot because there's this random big spot on here and it's just really random. So I have these 2 pots that could potentially work for the smaller plant, and I have this bigger pot that could hopefully work for the bigger plant. So let's just try that real quick. Okay, that's like, I mean, it technically would fit, but the plant is like too small a little bit. Maybe we can put something at the bottom of the pot so that the plant fits, because I really want to switch up that pot. I don't like it. But let's look for this one, because I did want it to be the pink pot, because the pink one just fits very well, but I feel like it's also too big because there's way too much space. So I feel like for this plant it's going to be the smaller pot. Oh yeah, that fits really well. So I think for the smaller plant it's going to be this pot. It looks so much better already. And let me figure out what we're going to do with this one. I just stuffed some like wool scraps at the bottom of this, so this is basically all just blank space, and all of this is the plant itself. And I feel like the pot is way better. I mean, it is quite big, but probably won't matter. So yeah, that's also done. Hello and welcome to a corner of my room. So we have another little issue over here, because as you might be able to tell, there's this thing on my wall and it is ugly and I don't like it. It's like really, it's so annoying to me. I just can't. So I want to do something about it. Basically that spot on the wall was actually in here before I moved into this room, because my sister had like a little shelf down there and a candle on top of it, and then the candle was like going crazy, and now there's soot on the wall, and it's not beautiful. And I did try to like remove it, but that didn't work at all. So I feel like just painting over it is going to be the most useful in this situation. And there's also a little bit of an issue with painting over it. I have some wall paint right there. And that color is the exact same color that we used for when we painted all of the walls white in the moving vlog. Go watch that if you haven't, it's amazing. And this wall was not painted in that process. And there is a very big possibility that this wall has a different color of white than the other one. So I'm just going to try and do my best and make it look as okay as possible, trying to like blend it into the wall or something. I don't know. We will figure it out, but it's just I feel like just a white spot will be better than that because that is so ugly. It's really annoying me. So we're going to do something about it and paint over it.
I've gone from 360 to 180 again. Now staring at walls while you fade.
Okay, so I honestly think I'm pretty much done. I feel like it definitely looks better than before, but I mean, that wasn't really hard. Looks like 1,000 times better, even from further away. I feel like you can't really tell. I mean, it's not dry yet, so hopefully it'll look okay, but I will update you when it's dried. This is what it looks like afterwards, and I feel like it looks so much better than before. I mean, not perfect, but definitely better. And after that, I decided to go on a few random side quests, and I started cleaning my radiator because it was really dirty, like really dirty. And after that, I decided to tackle the like shelf that my record player sits on top of because I also wasn't really 100% happy with how that looked, and I just reorganized it a little bit and tried a few different things and a few different setups, and I'm really happy with how that turned out as well. And one of the last things that I did was to put some of the heartstopper leaves that I mentioned earlier that I put on the collage wall into the shelf of Alice Oseman that I have in my bookshelf because I felt like that would match the vibe so well, and it is where the Heartstopper series is placed. And I just felt like that would look super cute. And yeah, that is basically everything that I did for the room transformation. I feel so much more at home in this room now, and I feel like it just looks so beautiful and it's all like so put together and everything matches really well because I really tried to stick to the pink and green theme, and I think it worked out really well, especially with like the collage wall and also with the vinyls above my TV. And I feel like everything just comes together very nicely now, and I really love that. I hope that maybe you also got some inspiration for what you could do for your room, and all of these things were like very low budget because I mean I didn't want to spend too much money. The only things that I actually spent money on for this whole process was the fairy lights that I got. I bought these new because they were just bigger than the ones I used in my old room, and I just have more space to cover, so that was the only thing that I actually bought. But everything else I already had, or I tried to figure something out, like for example all of the vines I already had because I used them in my old room as well and we still had a lot of them left over, but I also think they're not like too expensive if you buy them off of like Amazon. And I also used some little like command hooks that I put on the wall. We still had some of those, so also didn't have to buy anything, but those are also not really expensive. And for the collage wall, I didn't buy anything at all. I used my printer and printed out a lot of different posters that I thought looked cute, and I also printed out the heartstopper leaves and then just cut them out and stuck them to the wall. And for the vinyls, the same thing. Those were actually old vinyls that I had from my grandpa, but if you don't have access to that, maybe look for some vinyls in a second-hand shop, in the thrift shop, maybe at like a flea market or something like that. Those were my little tips for that as well. And I feel like everything turned out really great and I'm very happy with the results. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this little room transformation. If you did, maybe like, comment or subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!